Today we're going to be talking about the best way to get into Warhammer 40k. Now before we get into it, what are my qualifications? How long have I been playing? How many minis have I painted? And let me tell you, I have never played a game of Warhammer. I have never painted a mini. But before you click off the video, bear with me. Let me explain why I believe that this intro set is the best thing for starting the game. So I spent about a month doing research on Warhammer. What faction should I play? What's the best bang for my buck? I don't want to spend money and just waste it on certain armies. I was paralyzed with just analysis paralysis. I didn't know what to do. I was on forums. I was watching videos. You know how many people I watched paint the minis? And I'm sitting here being like, what should I buy? What should I do? And I kept looking at the intro sets that were too expensive, or it wasn't enough to build an army. There was so much information out there that I just froze. And finally, I'm done with it, okay? Maybe I don't want to play Space Marines. Maybe I don't want to play the Tyranids. I don't care at this point. I truly don't know exactly all the different chapters. I read briefly through them, but ultimately I don't know anything. I watched lore videos and I don't know anything. So I picked this up. This was about $50. I got it on Amazon. I'll have the link in the description if you want to support the channel. Click on it, purchase it. Stop waiting to get into Warhammer. Just get this. It has everything that you need. So let's see what comes in the box. So here on my table, we have all the pieces that come inside the introductory set. So as you see, I did assemble the minis already. They come on these plastic pieces, which they do come with some snippers. So you basically just cut the pieces out. They are push to fit, so you don't need any glue in this set, which is really great. That was the last thing I needed, was to put these together and have to hassle with glue. Other things, it comes with 5 colors right there. They are all basic colors. It's fine. And a paintbrush, you just get one. It's just to let you put a base coat of paint. It comes with 5 Space Marines, 10 Tyranids. You have your ruler for when you're playing the game. There's also these cardboard cutouts for objective markers. And then some of these status ones. I believe this is just to notate who took their turn already. It comes with, so we have this mat on the bottom that's 2 sides. You have one which is supposed to be the interior of a Space Marine ship, and the other side is just kind of a barren wasteland. This map is twice as big. I have it folded up. And then also they have these cutouts, which are nice. They're just cutouts for the walls. It gives you a little more 3D to it. I mean, they're easy to knock over, so you don't want to roll dice around them, but it's a nice little addition. You just have to cut these out. They're in the cardboard. And then dice. I'm not sure if I said that, but they got dice in the corner. But everything you need, and you have your booklet right there with the basic rules, a little bit of lore, how to paint, how to assemble them. So it starts off with an introductory, which I think is really great when it talks about the lore, just because when you watch videos, you're hearing the lore as somebody interpreted it, not how Games Workshop is portraying it. So as I'm reading through this, I'm finding little bits of information, interpreting them in my own way, and really enjoying reading the story from the book as opposed to watching the videos. Not saying the videos are bad, just saying that videos should be a supplementary thing. Maybe there's something you didn't catch when you were reading. So for example, let's grab the book, and we are going to look through how it is laid out. So comes with just welcome. It just starts from the basic. What is Warhammer? And it goes through that. It gives you the setting, and then it shows you how to build. So I'm going to pause right there when it comes to the book and put that off to the side. So everything you snip and it snaps into place. So looking at my map and my minis, can you find what is wrong? There is one thing wrong. out of all the minis. I'm pretty sure you probably spotted this before I even mentioned it. So we have this Space Marine right here. And what happened here? So let's bring him closer. His arm fell off. One of the Tyranids just bit it off, I guess. But when I was assembling this one, it has a little push to fit pegs, I should say. The pegs go in, and you put it in the hole. And what I did was, this wasn't aligning properly. I could still see the crack in the shoulder pad, kind of like that. So as it was in the hole, I started moving the gun around to try to position it to get that as flush as I could. And the plastic just snapped off. So when you're putting these together, here's a tip. Beware of, don't force it all the way into the peg and then try to adjust it. If you want to adjust it, put it in there lightly and then move it around, or else this will happen. So now I know I can salvage this mini. I just have to file down some of this little peg that's sticking out. File it down a little bit, take some super glue, glue it right in, and we will have this Space Marine back and ready. But let's look at a regular, perfectly constructed Space Marine. This was also very easy, by the way. Besides that hiccup, everything went together really well, and I had a great time putting them together. So one thing that I wish this introductory box had was a little file. Now, it's probably something you already have anyway, a nail file, some fine grit sandpaper, because where you cut it, like if you see where my fingernail is, this was the result of me cutting with the snippers. So there's little edges and burrs and things like that should be shaved down. They didn't include one. They probably wanted you to get up and running as fast as possible, because that is just nitpicking there. At that point, it's one of those things where, if you're just getting in the game, you're not looking for perfection. This is a set to see a bunch of things. Like, what part of Warhammer do you like? It feeds you some lore. Is it the lore you like? Maybe. Then you start reading the books, doing all that stuff. Is it the painting? Because that's a hobby in itself, to be painting a lot of these figures. And I know a lot of people, they paint more than they play. At least that's the impression I got. A lot of people collect and paint. Less people play. There's still a huge amount of people playing, but that's just how it is. Or do you want to play the game? Do you want to play the game just to kill each other, or do you want to do more of objectives? So this box lets you experience all those things. So moving on with the book. And it shows you, again, step by step. Clip the one that says 10 on here. Let me see if I can find the numbers. Yeah, let's see if you can see that. You'll see lower left, it says 10 on the plastic. You'll just cut that one out. It represents this leg right here. And you just push them together. Very easy. This holds your hand all the way through. Then it gets to how to paint. So it's even to show you, remove the paint, apply it to a palette, add some water, mix it together, do this many coats. First coat, second coat, third coat. It goes through the entire thing. Then it gets into the termagants. One thing I wanted to point out, a lot of people were saying, like, oh no, you can't paint these like the pictures portray. They're using paints that aren't included. As you can see, you get a very basic amount of paint. You get a kind of an off-white, a blue, a purple, a gold, and a black. That's all you get. And if you look at this, now some people will say this is false advertisement. I don't believe so. If you look at the pictures here, you can clearly see that there's a little more going on, especially on the Tyranid side. There's washes and there's all sorts of, different colors. There's no washes that come with this. But in the defense of the introductory set, if you look at the examples, let's look at, oh yeah, here we are. The Infernus Marines Gallery. Look at him right there. Look how basic of a paint job that is in the manual. It is really just, part of the weapons are straight black, And then all gold. There's no highlights. There's no shading. His face, that's not a helmet. It's just painted one color white with a black mohawk. So this is the quality that you can expect from the paint. As portrayed, as they're teaching you, yes, I'm sure you can mix colors together and make them all fancy, but this does not claim that you can get the results on the box. Same thing here. Everything is just straight 3 colors. It's nothing that's, extravagant. They're not trying to be extravagant. So beware when you are watching some videos and they're saying, oh, you can't achieve these colors, they're lying, it's false advertisement. It's not. If anything, this is what it could be. It gets you excited. I can do that. I can paint that. This gets you started in the book with the paints, and eventually you can get to that level. What I enjoyed a lot is they spoon feed you the lore. So they gave a little history of the Space Marines, and I learned a key thing here that I didn't know from watching all the videos that everyone was talking about. How to get into Warhammer, all this stuff, and they talked about the introductory set. One thing I wish everyone would say is, well, I guess I didn't say everyone should say because we all have our reviewing styles, but like for Space Marines, I watched a bunch of videos of Space Marines, and it didn't dawn on me that they were, genetically engineered. I thought they were just people in robot suits. I did not know they were superpowered or anything like that. And then it goes on to explain the Tyranids, and this is something else that I didn't realize. So if you look at them, they have guns. I thought they were shooting bullets or something like that, or ray guns or something like. I just didn't know. And then it explains to you that they're shooting hails of burrowing beetles that chew through armor and flesh. So it fills in those little gaps and feeds you a little bit of information as you go on in the book. For the gameplay, it's very simple. They tell you exactly how to lay out, the map, where to put everything, how many dice to roll, how to shoot, how to move. It's all based around training scenarios, which is great. And at the end, there is a kind of an all-out battle. And the battle continues. It's basically fight to the death right there. And at the end, it's just a marketing thing. It tells you where you can go, how to expand the armies, and that is it. This is the best way to start off 40K. I don't have to get all the other sets to know that this is truly the best way. You get the regular 2-player starter set or the ultimate starter set. You don't got any paint. You don't got a brush. You don't got the snips. You don't really have anything. It's like, here's the game. Go have fun. And to me, it's missing a big part of the hobby, which is introducing you to every single layer of painting, playing, collecting, lore, all that stuff. And again, the manual spoon feeds you all this stuff. And I think it's great. I think it's a great place to start. If you're on the fence of where to start with 40K, this is it. This is it. I don't care if you don't like Space Marines or Tyranids. This is it. This will get you in, get you, moving around the board, measuring things. Because if you start playing this game and you find out you hate measuring and all the dice you have to roll, that's it. You spent $50, you're done. You didn't spend all the time and money, hundreds of dollars building a Death Guard chapter, and you're like, I don't even like this game anymore. And now you're trying to sell it on Facebook or offer up, and you're taking 50% of the price. It's just not worth it. $50, here it is, one stop. This is all you need. Trust me. And if you disagree, let me know in the comments. I'm curious because I know I am new to this, so I'm coming to it with a new, fresh set of eyes as opposed to other people that have been playing for years or months or people who invested their time and money and they love the game. Some people could spend $500, build an army, and they love it, and they're like, I have no regrets. I got exactly what I wanted. But we will never hear the tales of the person that spent $50. They bought this set, and it wasn't for them. And they just disappeared off the Warhammer forums and everywhere. We're not going to hear about those stories. But trust me, there's probably a lot of those people out there. And I would say save your money, get this set, and next video, may not be next video, but one of my following videos, I'm going to grab one of these Space Marines, maybe this guy right here, and I'm going to follow along with the how to paint guide and see how he comes out. So if you found this video informative, then drop a comment, leave a like, subscribe, let me know what you think of the introductory set. Did you buy it? Are you going to buy it? Is it trash? Do you think I just am out of my mind and I don't know what I'm talking about? I'd like to hear about everything. So let's talk about it, and I will catch everyone next time.